And by the way, while we're talking about this, Mamdani, today, I think he's visiting the president. And he actually, believe it or not, respect to him, he approached the president about visiting the White House, not the other way around. He wanted to come and visit. And then the president said what he said, communist, mayor, New York City is coming. And then Caroline Leavitt also in her press conference said, communist mayor is coming. So they're all aligned on the same page with messaging. But if you have Mamdani's clip about him coming to the White House, Rob, this is before and after. Whichever one you got, Rob, you can play. It's totally fine. Okay, we'll do this. Go ahead.
I will be heading to Washington, D.C. tomorrow to meet with President Trump in the White House. It is customary for an incoming mayor of this city to meet with the White House, given the mutual reliance. It's more critical than ever, given the national crisis of affordability, one that New Yorkers know very well across these 5 boroughs, and the specific challenge many cities are facing with balancing public safety against steps taken by this administration. I know that for tens of thousands of New Yorkers, this meeting is between 2 very different candidates who they voted for the same reason. They wanted a leader who would take on the cost of living crisis that makes it impossible for working people to afford living in this city. My team reached out to the White House to set up this meeting because I will work with anyone to make life more affordable for the more than 8.5 million people who call this city home. I have many disagreements with the president, and I believe that we should be relentless and pursue all avenues and all meetings that could make our city affordable for every single New Yorker. I intend to make it clear to President Trump that I will work with him on any agenda that benefits New Yorkers. If an agenda hurts New Yorkers, I will also be the first to say so.
Okay, so Scott, your thoughts. Is it going to be theatrics? Is it going to be a Zelensky type of a look, or is it going to be actually diplomatic, wanting to find a way to work together?
Well, I would hope that they would talk about ways to work together. I just have no belief that Mamdani knows what he's doing at all. The guy's never had a job. He's not qualified to manage the city of New York. And already the things he promised in the campaign, he's having to explain now, well, we can't do this, we can't do that. By the way, he spent a good chunk of his post-election time saying that one of his top priorities is if Netanyahu comes here, I'm going to arrest him if he comes to New York City. And he spent a lot of time saying, I'm not going to cooperate, and in fact, I'm going to try to impede federal law enforcement if they come here to enforce immigration law. So I kind of hope Trump sort of explains to Mamdani how the world works. Like, I'll handle the international diplomacy. I'm the president. And by the way, you're not going to stop me from enforcing existing federal laws on immigration. We haven't passed any new laws since Trump became the president. These are the laws. They're the existing laws. But Mamdani, like every other local Democrat, mayor and governor, believes that it is their responsibility to try to impede and stop the federal government and federal law enforcement from enforcing existing laws. So I hope Trump sets them straight on this. And I would love it if they could talk about things. But I'll tell you this, socialism is not the cure for affordability. I can assure you of that. Go to a socialist country and find out if they think things are affordable or good. It's not.
Look at Venezuela.
Yeah, I mean, we just haven't tried it enough. I mean, that's kind of we just haven't gone all the way. I assure you, you don't want to go all the way.
Here's some good news coming out of New York. Mamdani, who hates billionaires, who wants to redistribute wealth, wants to seize the means of production, he's doing a big fundraise.
He just asked for $3 million.
I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, he asked for three more.
Hey, guys. You know I don't like money and billionaires.
I told you to stop giving, but I got to ask you to start giving
Tommy,
again.
No, he did another time. There's another one. There's a part 2 where he goes, remember I said that? By the way, it's so cringe. And
but now we need your money. Do you have that, Rob?
Don't play that. We've played it already. I mean, the audience gets it.
You know
what we're talking about.
Mamdani has seen the spreadsheet. The reason Mamdani's going to New York is one thing. His crew has said, listen, we got to find a way to play nice with the White House because we can get the money from Albany, but then we need Albany to get the money from the U.S. government. That's what's going on here. He wants to push the socialism. He's trying to get Hochul, and all of a sudden Hochul slips, hits her head in the shower, stands up and says, you know what, maybe there should be a 3% tax higher on businesses here in New York. And she needs that because she needs a bucket of money to help New York because New York's in a deficit situation. New York is going to have a hard time selling more bonds. Go Google Goldman Sachs bonds, New York State, and you'll find out that state's having a harder time selling bonds to make up its debt. So what does he have to do? He's got to go play nice with the president so that they can get money back to New York State from the taxpayers of these United States. It's that simple.
We don't have to show the clip, but he was sitting
Nothing
down.
has changed. His attitudes aren't changing. His programs aren't changing. I'm sorry.
No,
Danny.
no,
I
it's
just
all
don't
good.
Put the period on that.
No, it's all good.
Nothing's changing in his positions. He still wants to do what he said he's going to do. Believe him. This is his team telling him go play nice and find a way to say about it. I know what I'll say. Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's traditional for the incoming mayor to go visit the White House because underneath it's like otherwise he wouldn't do it because he hates all that Trump stands for. We need to understand what's really going on here.
And in an interview yesterday or the day
More
before.
coffee, please.
Yes. Somebody asked about the free buses. So I want New Yorkers to know that they got swindled. The interviewer says, how are you going to get the $700 million to make the buses free if the governor is not going to raise the taxes? He says, raise the corporate tax. And he goes, she said no. And this is him, quote, the most important fact is that we fund it, not the question of how we do it.
Yeah.
That's his actual words out of his mouth. Oh, we don't. So New York, congratulations, you got played.
Details.
Period.
Details.
Yeah, exactly.
PBD, do you think this is a good move for Trump to meet with him? Because
Yes. Yes.
I actually think it's a bad move. I think, number one, he's not going to change Mamdani's stance. Mamdani's certainly not going to change Trump. But what it does do, here's my critique. It's going to legitimize and give this guy Mamdani a photo op with the leader of the free world saying, yes.
Listen.
Look where I'm
Let
at.
me tell you.
It's kind of like when the Syrian president came in, al-Shara,
Listen.
legitimizing these people.
Say whatever you want to say. The guy won. Okay, you can say whatever you want to say. He beat Adams, Sliwa, and Cuomo. He won. So I don't care what anybody wants to make fun because then what is the differentiation between us saying, well, legitimate President Trump is not a legitimate president? No, this guy won the mayor and he got the votes. And he did in the biggest city in America. So guess what? Trump, deep down inside, if you notice one thing about him, he respects winners.
Yep.
And Mamdani won. Doesn't mean he agrees with them.
And
So for me, I think it's a good move that he's doing it because the way it's going to be is the following. Here's what I think is probably going to end up happening. And Scott, I want to get your commentary on this because you're more connected to this than I am. I think Trump's going to meet with them, show New Yorkers, hey, I'm even getting to the point of wanting to meet with a guy like this just so you see that New York matters to me. Then Trump is brilliant. If he ends up later on saying that he's funding something or is building a bridge or he's doing something, the only way he brokers that deal is by getting Mamdani to thank him. It's going to be thanking him. Then when he thanks him, right now, a Siena poll came out yesterday talking about the fact that Hochul is ahead against Stefanik by 20 points, even though Lee Zeldin only lost by 5.7%. Siena poll, which, depending on how much credibility you give to them, 20 points ahead of Stefanik. So I think the way Trump's going to handle this could be the reason whether Stefanik ends up or a Republican person ends up winning the governorship in New York or not. Trump is playing strategy, in my opinion, and I think he's making a right move. My opinion, Scott.
yeah, I think you're right. And I think his interest in New York City and New York City politics is deep. I mean,
course.
he's the president of the United States. He sort of lives in Florida now, but he's a New York guy. I mean, this is his hometown. He has definite opinions about the way the city ought to be run and what's going on there and the things he's done there. So I'm not shocked that he's meeting with him, and I tend to think it's a good move. New York does need the feds. They do need Trump, and he's going to force Mamdani to admit that ultimately.
Oh, he will.
He will force him to admit it.
Either Mamdani's ego is going to get in the way, or he's going to get him to say, hey, you have to give respect to the president. Without the President Trump, this would have never happened. The funding of XYZ.
Yep.
Wait for that in the next
And
one.
Mamdani
We'll
is,
see if he does it.
he's a talented actor, but he has no real political experience. Trump, now he's tangling with the bear.
The big boy.
now we're in the big leagues, and so
We've seen a lot of world leaders on
yeah.
those two chairs in
Yeah.
front of the fireplace,
Yeah.
and Trump leans over, except what you think, my friend here, and he's the troller in chief, and I think he's gonna do the right thing.
yeah.
Can I hone in on what you said, Mr. Jennings? You said he's a talented actor. What do you mean by that? Do you think he's faking it, or do you think he actually believes this stuff?
Oh, I think he is dedicated to socialism. But I think he's a showman. He is an actor. I mean, if you look at the way he ran his campaign,
He's a marketer.
he is a marketer, and that's what he's good at. I mean, he's talented in front of a camera.
No doubt.
But based on, I mean, he has no idea how to do any. I mean, I think he's dedicated to this socialism, but he has no idea what to do about anything. How are we going to fund the buses? I don't know. That's not important. We're just going to do it.
Well, nobody that
so-
subscribes to socialism has an idea because
kind
it's
of
never
empty.
worked.
It's kind of an empty sort of, it's an
He's
empty.
got that smile, though.
empty
We got to
market.
give him the credit
Yeah,
for the
I mean,
the
look,
smile.
again, I am today, this afternoon, you're going to see the optics when they meet, what it's going to be like, and we'll all be tuning in. By the way, quick shout out to one of the best, great guy, great father, great quarterback of WA, and when it won the championship in college, Danny Canal. It's your birthday
Happy
today.
birthday, Danny.
Happy birthday,
You're a
Danny.
giant.
You're a giant.
And at the same time, shout out to Chris Mano. He is officially a daddy.
Oh,
Dad.
that's
He's a
amazing.
dad.
We
And
love you,
little
man.
chicken
So
nugget.
happy
Oh,
for you.
wow.
So
Congrats.
great to hear from those guys.
One of the best guys in the world, man. And if you don't watch VT Sports, go watch VT Sports. We're going to put the link below.
Studs.
Danny Canal and Chris Mano. Go tune in. They got some great commentary with VT Sports, Danny Canal and Chris Mano. We have a Black Friday deal that's going on, started early, 30% off of everything on the site except for a couple items. And we're doing a few unique things. And here's what it is. This mystery box, there's only a few of these mystery boxes left. Anybody that places an order on vtmerch.com above $500, the first 200, you're going to get a mystery box being sent to you with special items in it. But when you open it up, 10 of you are going to get a golden ticket. If you get this golden ticket and you scratch it, you get one of 10 items. One of them is $5,000 gift card to the merch store. One of them is a silver membership to our cigar lounge. One of them is 5 platinum tickets to the Vol Conference. One of them is a 15-minute call with Adam. One of them is a 15-minute call with Tom or Vinny or myself, $2,500 towards Manect, or to be in a skit with Vinny on VT Comedy. You would fly down here. You guys would literally be in a skit. You guys know Vinny runs a zoo here with a bunch of animals.
Incredible.
You would come and be in
Incredible
one
zoo.
of these skits with
Adam's
them.
one
Now,
of them.
You could be a gibbon.
Second, we always get guys. Alan said he wants to be on the podcast so bad because he wants to face against this guy.
loser.
Bunch of guys are messaging me, telling me they want to be on the podcast. So finally, we've never done this. We said, let's do something crazy, but there's a price for it. You spend over $2,000 on vtmerch.com. You can go buy the shoes. You can go buy the recording with all the classes. Everything right now is together on vtmerch.com. You spend over $2,000 on VT Merch. You will be in a drawing. One of you guys, we will draw from the people that purchase over $2,000. You'll fly in here. We'll go to dinner. We'll do PBD podcast prep, and you'll sit exactly where Scott Jennings is sitting, and you'll do a podcast story with us, right? And we'll cover stories, and we'll ask you, what do you think? What do you think? So if you don't mind that kind of pressure, you want to be have some fun with us, and you'll get a behind the stage, literally, on what happens here. Go to vtmerch.com, place your order. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see you very, very soon. This goes from November 17th to December 2nd. 99% of the items on vtmerch.com right now are 30% off. Go buy a bunch of products for your husband, for your wife, for your sons, for your kids. Christmas is around the corner. Do some early Christmas shopping. Save that money at vtmerch.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.